Hello there, I'm Paddy Donnelly, the author and illustrator of Fox and Son Tailors, which is one of the £1, €1.50 books for World Book Day 2025. And my top tip for reading a picture book is to always remember that half of the story is contained within the illustrations. So whenever you have a picture book, it always has those two parts. It has words and it has illustrations, and they both have to go together seamlessly to create one story. And usually, if you took one of them away, the story would kind of break apart and wouldn't work. And whenever you're working on whenever you're reading a picture book, you always have to see what things you can spot in the illustrations that aren't mentioned in the words, and maybe tell a lot more of the story. So my story begins on a busy little street in a busy little town. There was a shop called Fox and Son Tailors, and that's the shop where they sell tails for all the other animals. But there are lots of other little shops in this town, like the Badger Book Shop, and there's the haircuts, hairdressers where hares cut the hairs of other hares, and there's the Stork Delivery Company, and there are all these little animals going about. There's elephants going to the post office, and there's zebras running, maybe late for a meeting, and there are antelopes on bicycles, and lots of different things happening in the illustration, but none of that is mentioned in the text. So whenever you've got a picture book, you always have to remember that there's so much more to follow when you look at the illustrations, and you have to kind of look at all of the details and figure out what the illustrator was trying to tell you, because they're sometimes telling you a lot more things that are happening. There's more to this story than meets the eye. And in this story, there are two little mice that you can spot here, and they're on every page too, and they have a little shop next door to the Fox shop, and they sell tails too, and they have their own story going on. It's right down here, it's like a super tiny shop, and they have their own story going on, but they're not mentioned one time in the text whatsoever. So whenever you're reading a picture book, you always have to remember to be looking in the illustrations for the other half of the story.